Hello everyone, this is Big Black 420i coming to you again with another video. Tonight we are going to do something a little bit different. I have been asked how to get the lights to work properly on the W900, especially the one with the triaxle on it. So tonight I'm going to give you a nice quick little rundown on how that works. So watch closely. Now, just so you know that this is the one with the triaxle, I'm going to bring it to the triaxle conversion. Now that you see it, now you know that this is the triaxle truck that I have been showing on my channel. Now this here is like a whole lot. This can get really confusing. So one of the things I highly suggest is when you're doing these lights, zoom up closely on it, because as you notice, when you're closer up on it, all of the circles are individual. Back away from it, they tend to get a little close, and it gets a little hard sometimes to zero in on what light you're actually trying to work with. Now, the way I have it on my current truck, this is what I generally do, at least for the marker lights. Oops. Alright, for the marker lights, what I generally do is that you go to the dot first, and then you pick which one of these type of lights that you want to use. And there's quite a few of them. Now, the lights that I generally use, well, actually, that's on a different part. But let me get to like the exact moments here. All right. Now here's some of the selections of the lights that you can use. You have mini marker ambers, mini marker beacons, mini marker left blinker, mini marker right blinker, mini marker white. Now you got to make sure that you read what all of these things here do. All right, so I'm going to explain to you what they do real quick. All right, now this light here and these two lights here, I believe are just like different type of marker lights, but let's just see and figure out exactly what they are. I'm going to go here first and click that. Now, if you want to know what they do, sometimes what you can do is that you can hit this tab right here, toggle lights. All right, then you go to this here and get rid of everything else, and then this way you can see exactly what they look like. So these are basically just marker lights that you can basically place wherever you would like to place them. That's basically what these are. Then you go back to that, and if you don't want them there, you just clearly hit the X, and they go. Now, this light right here, as you can see, that's a flashing light, mini marker beacon. All right. Now, the reason why it says mini marker beacon, you see marker and beacon in the same position. What that means is that that light is playing a dual purpose. It'll act as a marker light until you activate your strobe lights or beacons. When you activate those beacons, depending on how many of these you have and where they're located, those type of lights is what's going to respond exactly like this. So let's say if you have the entire back end here lit up like that, that's exactly what's going to happen. The entire sides will go funny. They'll go, that's what they'll do. Now, we have this light right here, mini marker left blinker. What this means, and mini marker right blinker. What this means is that, as you can see, it's still the parking light, or the marker light, however you would like to call it. Now, the difference is that when you decide to use your left or right blinker, that will then start flashing like your signal light. Alright? And these here, and this one here is also basically just a marker light. It just basically just turns it white. And here, all your other marker lights. But the main question I was asked is, how do you set up your tail lights? Well, this part here was tricky because I have a couple of Peterbilts that have a lot of lights on them. And the first time I tried doing it, I admit, I kind of ripped my hair out trying to figure it out. But once I figured it out, it's actually not that hard. You just gotta basically pay attention to what each and every one of these things here say. Now, I admit they may not be in no orders that I would prefer them in, but they are clearly labeled. Now, let's say I want to make this whole area up here with my tail lights. At first, I would then click here, and now I would decide what I want to use. You have everything from round reverse lights, which are your reverse lights. Then you have your rear light, which is basically your marker lights, but it adds your tail light form. Alright, that's basically what that is. Then you have your brake light. Alright, this will come on every single time you use your brakes. Then you have your round blinker red, round blinker right red. Now what that is, and the difference between this one right here, round blinker red, is that if it doesn't say red on it, it's an amber signal. Alright, both of these are your signal lights, but one is amber and one is red. The same thing works with the left. Round blinker left, round blinker, round blinker, where did it go? Alright, here we are. Round blinker left red, round blinker left. It's the same thing. If it doesn't say red on it, it's amber, but they do the same exact things. So let me show you an example on how I'm going to do this. Let's see, right now I'm going to make that into a reverse light. No, it's matte fat? No, I'm going to make that into a parking light, a marker light. Let's see. Round rear light. Alright, so that's my marker. Now, if you want to make sure that you can keep things even, do a pattern one at a time. Like, I'm going to go to the other side now. Round rear marker. Well, round rear light. Now, as you can see, they're both lit. If you want to make sure, always do that. If they look the same, you're on the right path. Now, I go here. Round brake light. Now, I want 2 sets of brake lights on this truck. On the other side, you do the same exact thing. You deal with 1 set of lights, one at a time per section. Now I have brake lights on that. Make sure you check them out, and there you go. Go to find out, it looks like these brake lights are acting as marker lights at the same time, which is a beautiful thing. Now, let's add some signals, shall we? Now, I'm going to take this opportunity to show you the difference between the signals. It may look a little lopsided, but you'll get the idea on what I'm referring to. Now, round blinker right. Round blinker left, red. Alright, that's what I'm going to do there. For the right hand side, to show you the difference, I have round, so you have, now if you're not sure about any of the type of lights that you have within the pattern, you can always hit the light that you want to match, and it'll always light up here and tell you what's already activated. Now as you can see here, round blinker left red. Alright, so let's go to the right. Now, that one was red. Alright, and this one here is just going to be amber. To show you the difference, I'm just going to click. Oops, I think I did it backwards, but alright, that's the right hand side. And this here is going to be the left hand side. Alright, now just to show you the difference. Now, that's a white lens for red. Actually, hold on. That's a little confusing myself now. But that's the amber signal light right there. Now, just to double check, let's see what this says. round blinker left red. All right, so it says red, so but I guess they make it into a white lens. If you're not sure, always go back. Never be afraid to go back. Now we have our taillights up here. Now here, I like to put taillights here as well, so that's what I'm going to do. Round brake light. Round brake light there too. And then here, round brake light. Now, I'm going to like to try to put some signals here, but I want red signals here. So what I'm going to do is that round blinking right. Round blinking right red. That's what I want. I'm going to go here and find round blinking left red. So I go there. Check it out. Now you got certain things matching. Now this is one of the reasons why you go into this screen, because sometimes if you think you got it there, sometimes they won't show up. So it's always nice to go back. Go here, brake light, click it, recheck it, boom, problem solved. Now we have our lights up here. We have our lights up here. So far it's nice and even, right? Let's keep going. Now, what I like to do with the sides here, I mean, you can basically use any type of light that you want. But me, what I generally like to do is to use these side markers. All right. That's generally what I like to do. Now you got this type of marker, and then you have that type of marker, and then you have this type of marker. What's this look like? All right, and then you have that type. Now, me, I happen to like these particular type of lights here and stuff, but these ain't the only ones that you can use. You also have these down here. Now, of course, some of these may not be the proper colors at the moment. Let me just check here real quick. Blink, all right. Blinker right. Blinker left. Rear light. All right, reverse. Reverse long range. All right. You know, I still really don't know what these are for. All right. And then you have your brake light. So that's basically everything that you would need basically for the back. But let's start one thing at a time here. We're gonna go with the markers. Smart Bat, let's go a little twinkle style and use side marker beacons. Now, notice my problem here. This is one thing that a lot of people tend to get a little confused sometimes, is that if you start from the top on one of these rows like this, that's gonna be a bad thing, because you can't get to the bottom without undoing the first light sometime. It gets a little weird. So it's best to start from the bottom and do it like this. Now, from the looks of it, it looks like I've got each and every one of these lights here set up. To make sure, just hit that, and you can see everything that's there. Same thing with the other side. Start from the bottom, work your way up. Okay, now this is another thing that's good for you to know. Instead, when you're working on things, make sure that one selection does not run over the other one, because if you do that, you can do what I just did. Because if you notice, this light right here is what I was trying to hit, but because it was lined up with one of my brake lights, that's what happened. So let's correct that one right now while it's still fresh in memory, so this way there's no surprises later. All right, that's back to brake light. We're going to line this here up, and then we're going to go right on back to what we was doing with the beacons. mouse went a little crazy there. Now, yes, I understand that doing this can be a little tedious, but that's all right, because you know what? By the time you're done working on it, and you're looking back and marveling at this beauty, you're going to love it. You're going to love everything that you see. Now we double check. Now everything's lit up now on both sides. But I spotted another problem. Apparently this light here got away from me somehow. So we go to here, go to brake light, instant fix. Now this here is just a rundown on what some of these lights here do. Now to show you these here real quick. Alright, let me show you this section here. Once again, I don't know what that's really for. The hollow drive lights. Alright, I'm not really sure what that's, because I don't really, I'm not really around them too much. But I will, once I figure those out and stuff, I will be explaining that there later on. Let's see. Wow, hold on. Alright, so I guess the way they're labeled. Alright, well, this is what we're going to do. This is our brake light, right? Let's start here. Check it, lights match. Now, the next thing that we're going to try is see if we can get some signals in there. Blinker left. Go down to the other one, blinker right. And apparently, I ended up just messing that up. So now I gotta go back to the brake light. Alright, there we have it. Now, what we're going to do is that we are now going to purchase this truck and we're going, and we are going to test how these lights here work. It's always good to double check because there's always going to be something that's going to try to get past you. Now, I believe these were being left like this to show you the difference between how they look and work. Everything else is a matching set. So without further ado, let's check out how our work has came out. All right, we are now inside this parking lot and we're going to see exactly how these lights now look once they've now been installed. So let's try it out. All right, Here we have our parking lights, well, or our markers. So far, it looks like all the markers are working exactly the way they're supposed to work. Now, I'm going to go into a darker area just so I can ensure that we all see. Yep, I missed the garbage can. Now we're in a way better area to do this test. Now as you, oh, let me turn this off. All right, now as you can see, the marker lights are working the way they're supposed to. And apparently, in this mod, all the brake lights are also marker lights from what we can see here. All right, now you remember those strobes, the marker lights I showed you earlier as far as the strobe pack? This is how they look when you activate your strobes. So as you see, they play a dual role. So apparently all of those are now working properly. That's what we wanted. That's how we now got it. Your brake lights. Now, as you notice, the brake lights, the round ones, are working properly. The square ones, though, are not. So I don't know what to say about the square ones. I would say, at least for right now, stick using the round brake lights because they're easier to work with, because the brake lights on here, for some reason, do not want to work, the little square sets. But it's just the brake lights. Let's see what the signal lights look like. Also keep in mind the different colors and the two edges on the signals. Now, this might be a problem that some of y'all have ran into as far as having trouble making your lights work properly. Now, apparently what I had done is that I had accidentally hit both sides. So keep in mind, when you're inside doing your lights, always double check and always go back to make sure that left is left and right is right. Now, here's the left-hand side blinker. Now notice, you see on top, you got the right-hand side blinker as amber. Yeah, you got the left-hand side blinker as red. That's the difference. If your blinkers do not have the word red on them, they're going to look like this. If they say red blinker, that's how they will come out. Well, let's turn on these hazards and just leave it like this. Well, everybody, I really hope that this helped and that you'll be able to have a better idea on the do's and the don'ts when you go to hook up your lights onto the back of these trucks. Also keep in mind, depending on what mod you have, sometimes they might be labeled a little different, they might look a little different, so always make sure that you know exactly what lights that you're working with before you go. And always make sure you double check, because as you can see, I didn't double check the bottom signals. That's what happens. If you do double check, it comes out like the round lights flawlessly. Alright, so I hope that this helped you guys out. Until next time, happy trucking.